Hey, so what's important to you? Is it getting that video posted in time? Is it getting that good Instagram photo? Is it getting a bunch of likes on your Twitter post? What is important to you? What's up? Hey, we got Nomadic Weather Bear. Hello, hello, hello. I was sitting here today. Marilyn Monroe, hello. Gypsy Lee, how are you doing? But yeah, Sandy, hello. Now, that's a deep question. The old stoner, not there yet. Hello, hello. Yeah, I was Justin Davis, Get Her Done, Craig Hall, Camp Goer 1. I'm not live, that's for sure. Well, here's the deal. Here is the deal. Backdoor Renee, hello. Actually eating supper at my computer before I go to work. And what comes up? There you go. Patty, hello. So I was going to do a video today. I was sitting downstairs, Nez, drinking my coffee and watching some YouTubes and thinking about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to talk about. Mayhem. And I have many topics that I'd like to jaw about. But then my wife came in with a little guest. Yes, my granddaughter. She had my granddaughter with her. She had to run a few errands today real quick and left the granddaughter with me, so I got to hang out and play with her for a while. And then when the wife did come home, they stayed for a while. So instead of coming up here and turning on the computer and worrying about posting a video, I decided that, hey, YouTube's fun and all. Social media's fun and all. But you know what? My granddaughter's a lot more fun and a lot more important. So I figured, well, Badge, what's up, man? Tasha? Dave says you have a puppet. Can we see it? Yeah, it's right back there. Right there's the puppet. I do have a puppet. The Illuminator, what's up, JJ? How are you doing, my friend? But yeah, so I figured, well, since I didn't do a video, and I'll do anything for views, and I'm just an e-beggar, and I need money, and the only reason why people do live streams is so they can get super chats, according to some people. Our family is way more fun than social media. Amen to that. Not there yet. I agree. But I figured I'd get on here and I'd do a quick little live stream, talk to you folks, and just say, you know, social media is fun and all, and it's nice to be able to stay connected with friends. I mean, I know, you know, when I started on Facebook, it was all about getting in touch with all the people I went to grade school and high school with, and seeing where they were. Now they're spread all over the country. Some are even in different parts of the world, and you know, chit-chat with them on Facebook and reminiscing, remember this, remember that, telling I remember when stories. And that's fun. But now it's turned into a big obsession. A big, I need to. Some people just need to do it just because they need that, they have that voyeuristic part of them that they just need to know what's going on with everybody and everything. They need to know. And other people, unfortunately, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but some folks, you know, they really don't have a whole lot left in their life, and so social media is their thing. Their spouse may have passed, all their children are grown and gone away, and they don't really go out much, so they don't have friends to hang out with. So yeah, the friends they do have are on Facebook and Instagram and other places. And well, there you go. Yeah, JJ just said it, and Renee, Backdoor Renee. A lot of folks do it. They turn it on and they listen while they're working, and that's cool. But it's a big headache, yeah. But some folks, they just get caught up in it, and it's, I gotta pump out a video, or I gotta get that perfect Instagram photo, and then I gotta put filters on and make it so I have no pores in my skin, and make my eyes real white, and shrink in my waist, and fatten up my booty. And I mean, I don't know, man, it's just crazy. And it's all about how many likes I can get. And even when they do go outside and see some of these things, and I notice some of the RVers too, you know, you watch some of these channels, and sure, they experience all kinds of stuff. They get to travel and they go see this and that and the other thing. But most of it, what do? They see it through a lens. They don't really experience a whole lot. They're worried about setting up that shot, getting that shot, looking at everything through a lens. And then once they get all that stuff compiled, they take that little SD card out and they throw it in their computer, or if they're doing it on their phone, they just get their little app opened up, and then it's time to sit down and edit. And get that, all that stuff compiled and put together and edit it into a nice little video. And then we got to let it render. And then some of the nomads, depending on where you're at, going to sit here for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours while it uploads. So yeah, you're out there and you're spending all that time seeing all these great things. But hey, through that lens, you're sharing it with me. And I'll say, like a lot of my Canadian people that I watch, beautiful country, Canada is. And I'm glad they share it with me. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they share all that stuff and all those places that they go. Because I get to see it. Because, especially the way things are now, I doubt I'll get to go to Canada to see anything before my eyes totally go. But I've been around the United States, a lot of places, seen a lot of things. But, yeah. But the thing is they share a lot of stuff, but do they experience it probably the same way I do, looking at this screen? They see it just in the same perspective I do as I see everything, in that little, through that little lens. There's no living, there is only a narrative they are after to show their viewers. Yeah. And I often wonder, you know, life can get a bit of routine during this pandemic. I need the aggravation that YouTube gives me to keep the blood circulating. There you go. Keeps the blood pressure up. I get it. But I often wonder, though, that when I watch some of these videos, and because, you know, even when now granted it takes me a lot longer to do videos than most people, I won't say most people, than some, because of the visual limitations that I have. So things just take me a lot longer to shoot and edit and do things. It just takes me longer because of the eye thing. That's why I try to get things set up to streamline so I don't have to do as much anymore. But anyway, I know what it takes to actually put together a good video. And I'm not talking about the squeaky cam videos, you know, the pointing at your computer and, you know, then just hit upload. Yeah, anybody can do that. You can train a fucking monkey to do that. Backroads Art Studio. Hello, hello, hello. I think it's wrong to hear YouTubers say, send me money. I mean, if there's a cause, that's one thing, but just for self-indulgence, just not cool. I agree. It says, good thing about YouTube is you see the places, don't need to go and see it. Yeah, right. Hello, Lioness. But, yeah, again, I know what it takes to sit down and really put together a good video. And that's, hey, Pod Steve, what's going on? And they're the channels I really enjoy watching. You know, the Chromes, the Nomadic Fanatics, even Charlie, Forever Best Friend. She makes some very good videos, I must say. Have you been on much lately? Because I am living my life, not allowing YouTube to run mine. Very good. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. YouTube's going to be here. Some people act that if they don't post a video every day, or some people 5 videos a day, that the world will end. We'll spin off our axis and hurtle off into space. And they won't make that 15 cents today, and just got to get on and pump them out. And if they don't, all hell break loose and the world will come to an end. But I'm here to tell you that, hey, you know, if you make a video and then you don't make one for a week and you come back, guess what? People will still be here. They'll still click on your video and you'll still get some views. Maybe you might not get as many as you did yesterday, but hey, who gives a shit? But when you're desperate, when you really don't have a whole lot going on in your life, and you don't have a life to live, then I guess posting that video, tweeting that tweet, letting everybody on Facebook know what you're doing, where you're at, and scouring everybody else's life, I guess that's what you do. But yes, I agree. You just you go with it, you know? Like I said, I was going to do a video today, but the granddaughter came. Precedence, man. Priorities, she took precedence. No, video's not that important. You all be here tomorrow. Now, BlindViews jams on his guitar. I like his jams and don't mind flipping a few bucks. YouTube, everything you want to see and even more stuff you don't want to see. That's right. Finding good stuff is a challenge. That is the challenge. You are right. Sifting through the garbage to find the good stuff is the hard thing. For sure. I use YouTube to look up how to do things often. So besides the RVers, I do use it for more practical reasons. I look up, not as much anymore as I used to, but every once in a while, I do a lot of research on products before I get things. I will look at it and look at prices and read reviews, but then I'll type it in the old search on YouTube and see what people have to say and everything else. Talk about $1 videos, the Isabel Page that you turned me on to. Yes, Isabel Page, very, very awesome channel. She does fantastic videos, and she only does 1 a week. Not every day, not 6 a day, no, 1 a week. And she has a huge channel, huge following, gets many, many views. And yeah, not once, since I've been watching her. And even when I went back through her catalog and watched the old one, not once did I hear her get on and go, click the thumbs up button, hit subscribe, give me a like, send me money. My PayPal's down here. My Patreon's over here. Send me money, send me some Bitcoin, send me that. Not once, never. Big, huge channel. So yeah, you don't have to get on here and beg and claw and whine and moan and mope and I don't have a viral video. YouTube doesn't like me. Boo-hoo-hoo. Oh, I get on here and I do 6 videos a day and still I don't get... Yeah, well, shut the hell up. Bitch about everybody else crying, oh, all the crybabies on YouTube. I don't have a YouTube doesn't like me. I don't have a viral video. Well, I can tell you why you don't have a viral video. I'll tell you. I can tell you many reasons, but we won't get into that. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta put the shit down and have fun with it, you know? That's what I was telling Chrome. Why should I make shitty videos? Watch you and Eric all day long. They got the quality, not mine. I will say today, I watched Chrome's video, and I will say it's the probably the first time I think that I just shook my head and said, "You're full of shit." I'm usually on point, but I was like, "Get out of here, man! Now you're just trying to sell it way too hard, way too hard." Yeah, I really enjoyed making my videos, but I was seriously depressed on how people ripped each other up, and I just gave up and went back to using it for entertainment and DIY. Yeah, you gotta put up a lot of bullshit when you make videos. I used to keep in touch with quasi-sane people worldwide. Yeah. Find nomads for hacks that translate to off-grid life. Yeah, dust off the stump and stayed. Turned out we're all a lot alike. Changed my mind about buying a few things after watching YouTube videos about the price. Yes, me too, Marilyn. I did too. Come to Fleece Casino. Time was on none. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I look at and like, should I? And then I, watch a bunch of tutorials, how it works, how you do this, how you do that. And well, one of the things is, let's see this, I don't know how well you can see it, but this thing right here, this little control switcher panel right here, I looked into that before I bought it. I read up on it and watched a lot of videos of how it works, and there's a couple other versions of it, and trying to figure out which version I wanted, if any at all. But yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. It helps with my workflow a lot. All right, Badge, later on, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Linda Lady Redskins. Court trials without commercial. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of those court things. I found it quite interesting. Tutorials are good only when you need them, but they help. Yeah. I've had to dust off the undesirable bipolar YouTubers and go on my own to find good folks. You're right. BB and I have had our debates. We're still respectful of each other. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't have to agree on everything. We can still get along, right? That's right. How studio got there? Thank you. This is where my YouTube money goes. It goes into YouTube. It goes into me doing things and making things easy for me, and easy to make what I think is quality videos anyway. Some people may disagree, but I try to put out good quality stuff. Got my lighting where it needs to be so I'm not in the dark. Got my backdrop. I got my switcher so I can do this on the fly. I can even go over to this. I can show you that. I can do all this on the fly. Produce a video right here without a whole lot of editing. But yeah. Where's the dedicated Camo Dave monitor? Yeah. You almost need one if you're going to try to keep up with Camo Dave. Hey there, Slick Man 555. But yeah, I was watching that Chrome video today. My homie Romy. And he's in a hotel room. And he's walking around going, look, everything, all this wasted space. I live in the van, and now I notice all this wasted space. Everything's below waist level. So what does that mean? You don't need to stand. How often do you stand up? You don't stand up. Okay, now you're pushing it. Now you're really trying to sell this van life and oversell it. And yeah, it might be fun to climb around in your little van on your hands and knees and do everything on your knees. But wait till you get older. And once you get down your knees and just leaning on your knees hurts like a motherfucker. And then your back gets all twinged up. And then when you got to crawl across there and you go to stand up and it snaps, crackles, pops. And it's just a big old pain in the ass because you ain't young forever. And just like your car and your van, shit stops working after a while. And some people even need replacement parts, hips, knees, all kinds of shit. And let me tell you, standing up and walking around is not overrated. It's not overrated at all. Everything's below waist level. Standing up's overrated. I beg to differ. Standing up is fucking awesome. Walking in my front door and walking straight through the house to the back door, awesome. Not climbing on my hands and knees, amazing. Standing up and washing dishes, standing up and cooking, standing up and getting in the refrigerator, standing up in the shower, taking a shower, walking around, just standing up, just being able to walk around. Standing up, my friend. I do like you, Chrome. I like your channel. I like the way you edit, but let me tell you, standing up is not overrated at all. We're going to have to disagree on that one for sure. At 6'1", I enjoy standing up. Because I know a lot of people that can't stand up. Whether their knees, their hips, or whatever don't allow them, or they let themselves get way overweight and they are stuck in their beds or in their little scooters or their get-alongs or whatever they are, and they can't stand up. I enjoy being able to stand up. Standing up is amazing. And sometimes when I do get down, like today, get down on the ground to play with the granddaughter, standing up is really hard. And getting back up off the floor, a real pain in the ass. But that is hey, there's Margie and Jeff. What's up? That's right, at least you can stand up in your RV, exactly. But I'm so shorter than you are, and I would be able to stand up. That's right. Yeah, that's why I always say, yeah, an RV, a box truck, step van, whatever, I'm all for that. But a van, I just couldn't do it just for that reason. I'm too big and old to be crawling around on my hands and knees to do shit. These old bones. Well, as I learned not to get down on the floor with the guinea pigs, I'm like stuck there. I know. Yeah, the granddaughter, she's running around and I'm having fun and giggling with her, and she plunked down on the floor and I decided, hey, let's go down on the floor and play. Yeah, that was dumb. That was pretty dumb. It was fun until it was like, okay, time to stand up. Yeah, it wasn't so fun then. Oh, I forgot I was old and rickety. I played basketball and football in school, in my school days. I played a lot of basketball on we call it penitentiary ball. Here in the hood, one of the few white boys that went and played ball down in the hood. You know, yeah, I am still young a little bit, but not to see, that's another thing. All my life I did, when I worked. I didn't, and not that I'm not bragging on anybody that has office jobs or uses their brain to work, but I didn't go to college and all that. So I worked. I beat my body to death working. I did a lot of sports when I was young, a lot of running, jumping, played football. I was a wide receiver, so I was getting smashed all the time. I played basketball, running up and down that damn court, jumping and shit is a pain in the ass. And I played a lot of basketball, like I said, here in the hood, out on the blacktop. My soft side showing. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I am feeling a lot better. I feel a lot better. Yeah, once I got that Z-Pack, those antibiotics in me, cleared everything all up. I feel pretty good now. But and then after I did stop playing basketball and football and baseball and shit, when I worked, I worked at Fruhoff. I built tractor trailers. I built trailers. I worked in foundry, a bronze foundry. I worked at a steel mill. I went back to the bronze foundry. I got laid off from the steel mill, so I forget where I went. Where did I go after the steel mill? But I got laid off. I got another job. The airport. Worked at the airport. Worked on airport. Was a mechanic's helper. And yeah, you guys in your little RVs complain about dumping black tanks. Yeah, I dumped the blue water. I dumped fucking black tanks. Let me tell you. We had a giant hose. Had this big cart that we had to pull around with a tug, the same ones that pull the airplanes around. Yeah, we hooked the big shit tank to the tug, pulled up next to the planes and pulled the hose out and dumped the blue tank. That's right, all that blue water. And then drove it down. We had a big underground waste tank that we would dump our little portable tank in. But anyway, so I did that. Then I got called back to the steel mill, so I worked at the steel mill again. Then I went to another steel plant. We made high pressure seamless cylinders. Firefighter. Worked for moving companies. Worked with an over the road trucker for years. So yeah, I mean, everything I did, the wife and I had our own I had my own business where I hung wallpaper. The wife and I bought a sawmill, a portable sawmill, so we would run around and we did that. I was carrying wood and rolling the logs and doing everything. And so yeah, just about every job I had, I was a human forklift or something. You know, I was beating my body to death or in extreme heat in the foundries and the steel mills. And so yeah, you know, it's when you get old, then after a while, even though you're not that old age-wise, the numbers don't, you know, add up. But you go, yeah, I put my body through some shit. I didn't sit in a desk all day. I didn't, stand up and teach people, or I didn't sit behind a desk like this at a radio station and spin records, or, you know, I didn't do anything like that. I was out there doing shit, beating my body, carrying furniture and doing all kinds of stuff, man. And it does take a toll on you. That's why I tried to tell my kids as they were growing up, get an education. I know it's hard in this country of ours, the greatest country in the world, but I know it's hard to get a really good education, especially when you're piss poor. And people tell you got white privilege, but yeah, my white ass and my kids' white asses didn't get free rides to college because of the color of their skin. I know other people that did because of the color of their skin, but anyway, we won't get into that right now. That's for another video to be demonetized at a later date. But it's just, you know, you get your body beat up when you do all that physical stuff. So I try to tell the kids, you know, get an education so you can do something besides beating your body to shit and trying to make it to retirement age with everything popping and creaking and snapping. And, you know, I used to always say, yep, most of the jobs I had, you had to have a strong back and a weak mind. Not a lot of thinking to it. Just you go do this, pick this up, do that. Which is good for me because I didn't mind a lot of it. It kept me in shape. It kept me going, but it did beat your body to shit. And I worked in those places where I was a number. You know, you had your clock number. You had your little time card. You went in, you stamped that clock. And those big places in the mill and Fruhoff and all that, you were a number. They didn't even care if the guys right around you, they knew your name, but everybody else, you were a number. To the office, you were a number. To the people across the plant, you were a number. To people in the other building, you were a number. They didn't really care about you. And I didn't mind that because that's the way I worked. You go in, you punch in, you do what you're supposed to do, you punch out, and you go home. And that was that. And that's the way I liked it. Because, a lot of guys, they get all involved and, hey, you want to go out to work? After work, you want to go? No. I'm with you fucks all day long. I don't want to be with you half the night, too. I actually like my wife, and I'm going home. And, yeah. But that's the way it is. I mean, and I was one of those people when you get that handbook that says, here's our handbook. Here's the rules. This is what we want from you. I actually read it. And I actually went by that. So when they came and said, hey, you got to do this. No, I don't. Yeah, well, what do you mean you don't? Your little handbook, you say that I only have to do this. This is my job title. And especially when you're in a union shop. I can't do anything that my union brother and take his job. My job title is this. Doom, 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 doom. I'm not supposed to sweep the floor. That's that guy's job. Well, you got to sweep the floor. No, I don't. It says right here. Here in your little book. Poof. I was one of those guys. I always threw their rules back in their face. Don't give me a rule book to follow and rules to go by if you're going to try to skate around them, because unlike all these other knuckleheads and probably half the ones in the office, I actually read the thing and I know what your rules are, and I'm going to follow them. I will do what I'm supposed to. I will not go above and I will not go below. I'm here because I work to live. I do not live to work. I go to work to get money so I can do the things after work that I enjoy. I don't go to work and then go to work and then volunteer to go to work and then go to work and then look for overtime to go to work and then go look for another job. No, I work to live. I don't live to work. I do like to have things, and I realize that things cost money. Even simple things, like food and shelter. That shit all costs money. So, saying I don't want to work, well, then don't. But you're not going to have food, shelter, or anything fun. So I went to work so I could do things, see things. The only time I worked after work was when I was doing the light stuff, when I was doing the lighting for band. I would get off of work and then usually all weekend I would go, but I was a single guy then. And then as I got older, I did it again and again and went back for it. That was no big deal because I was old. But, everything I did was manual labor. Beat your body to death for $1. And I did it. I hated doing pickups and deliveries at union shops. Waste of time. Hey, unions aren't what they used to be. There was a place for unions before. Now unions are pretty weak. But, when I was, even with the moving company, we delivered a couple computers, not computers like big servers, big giant servers. And, they were on wheels, And all we had to do was we backed right up to the dock, open the door. We could wheel the computers off out of the truck onto the dock, into the door, and put them in the room where they needed to go. But union rules said there had to be 4 guys, one on each corner of that machine to wheel it. So we had 2. We had to wait for 2 more union guys to come out and do it. So we did. And until they found them, we sat there for a half hour doing zip, nada, nothing. But that was their union rule, so that's what we did. And I got paid to stand there and wait, which didn't bother me at all. But hey, you know. But that's another thing with unions. When I pay union dues, if I have a grievance, if something's happening between me and management, and I go to the union and they drag their feet, oh yeah. You think I'm a loudmouth on here? You think I'm an angry old man while I'm on here? You ain't seen shit. Look, motherfucker, I pay union dues. I pay you people. You're a union rep, right? You even get extra money for being my union rep. You get extra money for being a union steward. You get extra money for... So guess what? Do your job. Fix it. You're right, Charles. You're very right. So the younger generation does not want to do manual labor jobs. You are correct. That's why people are begging people to go apply for jobs. People need workers, but nobody wants to work. Everybody wants to sit on their ass in front of their computer and work from home, work remotely, and all their little back and forth with people. They want to do it through Zoom or Skype or something. They don't want to leave the house. Otherwise known as strong work ethic. Yeah. Well, that's the way us older folks were brought up. That's what we were told. That's what we were taught. That was the way of life. If you want shit, you got to get money. And the only way to get money is go to fuck to work. And I live in Pennsylvania. And in Pennsylvania, back in the day, there was only 2 things to do in Pennsylvania. You either worked coal or you worked steel. And now there's neither. There's empty cities. There's whole cities that are just nothing because the steel industry and the coal mines and everything are done. But, yeah, you worked. And if you weren't smart, you didn't go to college and come out of college with $200,000 or $300,000 worth of debt your first day of work, then, and even some of them people still did the same thing I did. But yeah, then you went to work. You didn't use your brain. You didn't use your degree. You used your back and your arms. And you just went and did. But that's the thing. And then now we have, a whole, like you guys are saying, a whole generation of people that don't want to work. And you got a whole group of people that we call the nomads. That's right. I'm picking on the nomads. The Bobanites that listen to the word of the Bob, who says, sell everything, quit your job. Don't be a slave to the man, because this guy wants your money so you can live in a house. And the only way to get money is to go and work for this guy. And this guy tells you what to do, and that's how you get your money. So quit all that and come here to the desert. Don't work. That's right. So it's not just the younger generation. The old folks, the old Bobanites. He'll tell you, living in a Volkswagen Beetle in the middle of the desert is far better than going to work and paying a mortgage or paying rent. And yes, I do agree. If you live in some place like California, where a shoebox costs $3 million or $3,000 a month to rent, well, yeah. But there's a lot of places in this country, and that's why my ass lives where I do, that for me to buy a van, what I was talking about yesterday, to buy a van and build out a van and then put gas in that thing and drive around would cost me way more than living where I do right now. Far more. Far, far, far more. Billy, we took in 60 apprentices this year. They have been working for a month, and I think we are down to 50. I was impressed that you stayed at the accident. Oh, yeah, Ron was at the accident waiting for the police. Yep, I seen it all. That's right. We got to get paid. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. We're living in a weird time, for sure. Take the seats out of the Beetle. Plenty of room. There you go. I'm so poor I have to reuse my TP. They don't last long on the shovel and the heat at the steel mills. No. Man, the steel mill was, I actually did the steel mill and the foundry. I loved them jobs, man. I thought they were interesting as shit. I just thought it was amazing. First of all, at the foundry, to take sand and mix it up with some binder or some other shit, and then put a mold in it and put sand around the mold, CO2 gas, pull it apart to cope in the drag, which is top to bottom. We'll pull that apart, take the mold out, put it back together, clamp it up, and take a whole bunch of so much scrap, so much raw metal, melt it up, and then dump it in there, let it cool. The next morning, come in, it was shakeout. That's what we did every morning with a hangover most of the time. But you come in and smash on the side of the molds and shake everything out, and ta-da, you have a big brass piece of whatever. Finding out the melting temperatures of everything, what metals are in what. I found it very interesting. Nomad Ranch, hello. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was hot. It was dirty. It was nasty. That's why I say these people, put that little piece of cloth across their nose and, I can't breathe. Man, I was wrapped in asbestos. That's right, asbestos. Because there ain't nothing better to keep you from fucking burning up than asbestos. We had asbestos tiles on the ceiling. The walls were lined with asbestos. I had asbestos apron, asbestos gloves, asbestos leggings, steel-toed boots, metacarpals with the metal that came the whole way up the front. Had all kinds of clothes on, big face mask, big fucking thing on your, covering your whole face. All kinds of shit. And these people run, I can't breathe, I'm not wearing a mask, I can't breathe. Shut the fuck up. Come with me for a day where I worked at the foundry at a steel mill. If you can't put that little piece of cloth across your face because you're going to die in 5 minutes, then you'd have never, ever, ever lasted at the mill. And that's for damn sure. Butta bean. Thanks, Butta.
Yay!
Thanks to the rest of the members. Do appreciate it. Do you call asbestos hairballs? No, we wore so much shit. I mean, I did the one year I did get lead poisoning. I had to be off work for 6 months, but I got paid until my lead levels came back down. That's when I got a new respirator, a new whole thing. It was a fresh air thing. I had this hood with this pack on it that would blow fresh air across the hood. It was a positive pressure mask, and it would blow constant fresh air down across my face. Because apparently the canisters in the old ones didn't keep some of the stuff out. But yeah, I got lead poisoning. I know it wasn't from eating lead paint chips off the windowsill. But yeah. He wasn't good at the foundry, but he did as best as he could. Now that's funny. That shit's real funny. That's a good one. I like that. Oh, man. Just remind me of a case I used to investigate when I was decomp and having the white outfit with the masks, not to contaminate myself before securing the body. Yeah. Do you turn blue from that now? I'll tell you what was when I worked at the foundry though, because I did everything. When I started, I was a grinder. You just stand out there and they just throw shit at you. You just grind seams and you cut off the risers and the gates and the risers and you grind down seams and stuff. But that's all you're doing all day, just grinding. And then you go home and you turn green because of the oxidation, and then you get in the bathtub and stuff and everything. The water is just all gross. Even if you take a shower, you can just see the water going down the drain. It's all disgusting. Your washer, and when you wash the clothes, the shit that comes out is just nasty. But yeah. And then from the grinding, I went to the furnace operator. I was the one who melted all the metal. And you'd have to get everything to the right temp, the right pouring temp. Bronze, aluminum, cast iron. We did bronze, aluminum, cast iron, manganese, and some other things. But you had to know the different temperatures and make sure everything was the right. Uncle Boozy, I remember being told overseas to have your gas mask on you at all times, but never being given anything but training filters for them. Yeah, doesn't that suck? And so after that, I went to core making, make cores. Anywhere you want a hole, you have to put something. So they're called cores. And then from there, I went to a mold maker where I actually made the molds. And usually if you made a mold, you poured your own mold. So the furnace operator would get it all ready, but then you and somebody else would pour. So you had a pourer and a tailer. Somebody on the tail end. I'll have to try to dig out some pictures of the foundry, but yeah. But it was an interesting job. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was hot as balls and it was dirty, but it was very, very educational. I learned a lot. About how things work and why certain metals are the way they are. And damn bug, fucking fly or something in here. And that paper mill smells so bad. Yeah. There's a Purina plant. Talk about something that smells. Whew. Yeah, right across the river there's a Purina plant, and man, when they're making that dog food and cat food shit, oh, that shit stinks. My brother worked at Stanley Flag in Pottstown. Brass and iron pipe fittings. Oh yeah, foundry. Yep, it is dirty work. Yep, it is. And we made stuff for a Coca-Cola bottling plant. They would go through. We'd probably get an order for 3,000 of these little things a month. All they were little brass bars that flared out at the one end, and they had a hole with two little flanges that came out, and they were the things on the machine. Each machine had, I forget how many, but when the bottles came through, these things went down and actually pressed the cap on. And brass is a soft metal, so they would wear out over time. But apparently you couldn't make them out of anything stronger or heavier because they wouldn't work. I don't know, but for whatever reason, they needed brass ones. And yeah, we'd get orders for thousands of them every month. I have to admit, you're right about all that. I did a long tour of a steel foundry like that. The work didn't appeal to me. We had a foundry at one place I worked. Kind of freaky when a mold breaks out. When they are pouring in, the dude holds a block of steel on the leak to freeze it off. Yeah. Yeah, we had 55-gallon drums all over the place that were cut down in half, full of water. So if anything did go, and most of the time you didn't get hurt too bad, but you could run and you could jump in them. You could jump in those barrels full of water. But yeah, you could plug off the leaks. Yep, and that's what they call it too, a blowout. You hear somebody yell blowout, and everybody would scatter. I used to haul ground up anchovies, to a plant that made animal food flavoring in Oregon. Talk about stinky. Oh, I bet, Dan. I bet. Is that why my dog pukes up here? Tom says, hi, kiddos. Now back down to Dan's. Let's see. Lived across from Ori, the potato plant. Oh. Really lax in cleaning up waste from the potatoes. They used so once in a while it smelled like rotten trash. Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Don't say the word Purina. I puke every time I think about the dog food plant in Flagstaff and how bad it smells. I know, man. Like I said, we got one here. It's not real. I mean, I can't smell it at my house, but depending on where you travel across the river here, man, yeah, it stinks. That shit smells bad. I'm like, ugh. Yep, it is some stinky stuff for sure. It tried to take me a good year to get the smell of the morgue. Yeah, I bet. Out of your nose. Could not believe how it stays for you. Yeah. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. We're a married channel couple who have worked. Some have a problem with that. That's right. There'll be no working around here. There's no workers on YouTube. Funny shit. I can also tell you that when you're by Hershey or near somewhere, and depending on where you are and where the wind blows, you don't have to be real close either. But when you're near Hershey, at first for a while, you're like, oh man, that chocolate smells so good. And then after a while, you're like, oh God, that shit stinks. Yeah. Some days it smells okay. Some days you're like, ugh, I'm over it. This shit's nasty. There's so many dog foods I've tried and nothing seems to agree with my dogs. Just started them on Authority dog food and only one puked it up. Damn. There was a time where I could come smelling like either tobacco or weed, depending on what the crowd was like at the show. Yeah, I got that too, man. Try starting a few truckloads of recalled dog food that's busted open. Oh, in the heat and sat there for a week in the heat. Talking about having a strong stomach. Oh man, that is gross. Nomad Ranch says, Blue Van Dan, how's it going on the other side of the world over there? Way over there. Hey, Dan. That's funny. Also whole pallets of cow hides, freshly stripped from the cows and salted on a flatbed. Wow. From Modesto to above Seattle. Never once got stopped at a scale with that load. That's right. Keep on going, stink ass. That's another thing. When I worked with the over the road trucker on the moving company, we stayed at a lot of truck stops, and you learn real quick. One, reefers. If you want a good night's sleep, don't park near the reefers, because them things all night long. It's like RVing with a generator running 24/7, because those reefers cannot shut off. So them things, they're running and they're loud and obnoxious. And the steers, the cows, they weren't too bad. I mean, they smelled, but it wasn't too bad to me anyway. But the chicken haulers, oh man, they stunk. The pig and the chicken haulers. You didn't want to be nowhere near them guys either. So yeah, I didn't mind the steers, the cows and all that. Yeah, they didn't bother me. That smell doesn't really bother me. But chickens and the pigs. I think the chickens were probably worse than the pigs. You hauled reefers for over 11 years. Yeah, I worked on the reefer line at Fruhoff for a little bit. I mainly worked with the pup line, the little pups, little 24-foot tandem trailers. But yeah, I went over to the reefer line for a while. That's hard work over there, pumping all that shit in there, making them things. Yeah. Fertile, you like the smell of fertile farms? Yeah, I don't mind that. Hauling reefers is still legal in like 27 states. Yeah. Yeah, those reefers, man, them things they're amazing though. Those units, them things run constantly, man. And they very rarely take a shit, you know? There's some really reliable units. But yeah, you do learn where not to park when you go when you go to truck stops. Smell of Vacaville at 110 degrees where the cows were slaughtered. Yeah, I bet. It's this cow shit for some reason. It doesn't bother me that bad. But chickens, the chicken farms are disgusting. Northeast, they have a ground covering called bark dust, a place that makes that smell awful 24 hours a day. We had one 2 miles from my house. Oh, really? All that ground up tan bark bullshit. That and the mushroom farms around here too. They smell pretty ripe. Chicken truck, just my luck, chicken truck. That's right. I grew up in the oil patch. Dad always said, that's the smell of money. Very distinct smell. There you go. Honey wagons smell up the air for a while after the fertilizer dries out. Yeah. That's true too, Beanie. Had to pass it to get to Cali Mountains or down to the desert where I wanted to go. Oh man. Cat food is way too rich for a dog system. My mother refers to the wind from dairy farms as PU Valley. Ox, what's up? I used to have a plant in North Georgia that turned raw rotting meat into the base for their makeup. Smelled like death. Oh man. Smelled like death, not this shit. Yeah, I bet, Sandy. Oh, Margie's dad worked in the oil fields. Cow shit reminds me of going to the circus. My grandfather worked at the railroad. He retired from the railroad. There's another thing you don't hear a lot of people saying anymore. I retired from, to get a job and have it and keep it until you retire. You usually have at least a half a dozen jobs through your life, which is kind of sad, I think, but then again, don't like the smell of mushroom place. No, the mushroom place, yeah, where they grow mushrooms, it does stink. Worked for Legislative Assembly, writing up Hansards for publication. That job was a whole different level of bullshit direct from politicians. Oh, I bet. Everyone I knew worked in the oil field. I used to make my husband strip on the back porch. He stunk so bad. Been a pleasure going back to the trial. All right, Linda. Crawfish garbage sitting on a 40-foot trailer for a day in the sun. Oh, it doesn't smell good either. No. You're not ready for lunch. You throw all that in a dumpster, I bet. I hear reefer and I also look around and see who's holding out. Bus reminder was moving along, says Dan. Not as fast as I want, but as fast as this old fart can move it. There you go, Dan. Take your time. Do her right, Dan. You got time. Oh, yeah, restoration work. That is a pain in the ass. I did that for a little while, too. That shit's not fun. Especially when you got to deal with the insurance companies because they say, well, yeah, I hate that shit, too. You go into some place where there was a fire or something, like say a kitchen fire, for instance, and like half of the cabinets and the countertops and shit are burnt up, and they say, well, you're not replacing the whole thing, just take from here over. And you're like, this shit's like 20 years old. There's no way we're going to be able to match this. It's impossible. But you have to do it. And people are like, well, look, it doesn't matter. I'm like, and the insurance company saying, no, we're only paying for this. And yeah, that shit, that's the pain in the ass part. It's not doing the work. It's dealing with the morons, the pencil pushers that say, oh, no. This side of the kitchen's fine. We're only paying you to get this side fixed. So unless the people are throwing in money, then you got to try your best, your damnedest, to match up cabinets and shit, and there's just no way. You can't find them anymore. You can't even get it close. You can't find the drawer pulls and just simple shit like that. Another one, there was a place that we did that was, they got water in the basement, but it only went up so far. So they said, nope, you're not taking all the drywall out. Go around and cut a foot above the water line and cut along there and only replace that dry. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's just dumb shit like that. So yeah, the work is bad enough, but then when you got to deal with the assholes, that's what makes the restoration work even twice as bad. Used to ride the Amtrak for free. Yeah, my grandfather. Yeah, we got to go on the train for free too. Yeah. I'm 28 years into my current job. I guess I'll keep going back a while longer. Oh, that's cool, Lola. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's very rare, though. I mean, very rarely nowadays do you hear people that, people retire, but retire from their job. The old man got a job on the railroad, and I think it was 38 years, something like that. When he retired, he had in. It's a long time at one spot. When I was a kid at my grandma's farm, when an animal died, she called this death guy who showed up with his trailer loaded with dead animals. Still can't get that smell out of my head. Oh, wow, really? Come to think about the other grandfather retired too after spending his life working in the same grocery store, eventually managing it and retiring. He was a mean so-and-so, though. Yes, Beanie, exactly. Yeah, you try to wipe down all the smoke damage and everything, but yeah, you can't. Yeah, there's just no way to match that shit. You got to rip it all out and start fresh, but some people are like, we don't have the extra money. Is this what the insurance gave us? And, we don't have the extra money to do this and that and the other, which, again, that's why I live where I do. Poor folk. We ain't got extra money laying around. My CB handle was mushroom because they kept feeding me shit and kept me in the dark all day. There you go. And the Skyway Avenger said, Blue Van Dan, just finished our cargo trailer conversion. At 65 years old, it took 3 months at 3 to 4 hours a day. There you go. Working for home means I don't have to deal with crap and I can still watch over my parents. Yeah, there you go. Blue Van Dan says, Ed, one of my best friends up in Washington drove one of those trucks. Stinks to high heaven. Oh, one of the death trucks. Yep, Sandy, yep, it is more rare than it used to be. RV chillin'. Hello. Everybody's doing pretty good. It's hot as shit here today again. Another 90-degree day. That's a tough guy to sit next to you at the bar. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah. Yeah. It was many years ago. My grandfather retired. I was adopted by my grandparents, but yeah, he worked the night shift too. He was home during the day sleeping, and then he'd work overnight. But yeah, man, he made good money, and yep, real good benefits. And yeah, we got to ride the train for free. It was good times, man. But yep, those times are gone. I do believe. I'm sure there's a few places left, but yeah, it's very rare, unfortunately. E4, didn't you just do a live stream 2 days ago? Actually, it was yesterday. How many are you going to do in a week? I don't know. Maybe 7. I'm learning from another guy. I'm going to bitch about other people doing it, but then I'm going to do it twice as bad. My pension came with really good insurance along with Medicare. I usually pay nothing. All right, get her done. Take it easy. Yeah, I went to Marilyn Monroe. I went to, when I had my sinus thingy in my ear and shit was going on, I went to urgent care on a Saturday. I just got the bill for that. I had to pay $50, which I guess ain't too bad. Better than $500, I guess. But yeah, that was my bill of what the insurance didn't pay. Billy, I have only had 2 real jobs. 15 at the amusement park and 21 years on the electrical thing. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Daryl? Van City Adventures. Hello. Yeah, I had many jobs. Many jobs. One of those jobs, I had those jobs, and at the time, where if you had a good job that you liked, you usually got laid off. And then sometimes it wasn't a layoff. It was just a pure straight up plant closure. Everything just closed, shut down, and you were done. Then you became a dislocated worker. But being a dislocated worker was a lot better than being laid off, because when you were a dislocated worker, the government would pay like half of your wages. So when you went to apply for a job, if like back in the early, it was 82, I believe, when I worked at Fruhoff, and I was making $18.60 an hour. And back in 82, that was a lot of money. I mean, that was a hell of a lot of money. And when the plant closed, that's when I went to the steel mill. And if you go in and you say, hey, my plant closed, I'm a dislocated worker, and you apply, and you're getting, 15, $16 an hour, say you're getting $16 an hour, the company only has to pay $8 an hour of that for the first year, because the government picks up the other $8 an hour because you're a dislocated worker, because your plant closed down, as opposed to being laid off. That company has to pay the entire whatever your wage is. But yeah, so they love that shit. When the plant closes and they go, oh, you're a dislocated worker? Oh yeah, we'll hire you in a heartbeat, because we only got to pay half your wage for, I think it was a year. It might have been 6 months, but I think it was a year. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. It's been so long ago. But yeah. So yeah, every time a plant closed and I went for a job, I usually got hired right away, because they only had to pay half the wages for a good chunk of time. We had 3 houses burned from electrical fires in our neighborhood. Woo. Mine was almost one of them. No shit. Bad electrical, ground touching hot wire. All right. Snapping and smoking. Billy's still a young pup. He's got a way to go. 36. Is that how old you are? Billy said I was ready to retire when I turned 21. The bank says I'm probably working till I'm dead. Margie's going to dip her feet in the lake. All right, Margie, have a good one. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, I'm going to get off here too. Let me see. Hour and 12 minutes. Yeah, that's probably long enough for me to be yakking. Seeing how I got to find something to talk about tomorrow. And I want somebody to show up on Thursday.
There's no damn bats. They're always around. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
There you go, Kathleen. There's your bats. Oh, yeah. That's right, damn bats. So unless I find something to do tomorrow that's far more important than social media or posting a video or anything, because life happens, and I implore everyone to take time for that. Those real life things. Say hello to a neighbor. Say hello to a friend. Go visit a friend. Go visit a family member. Hang out with a kid. Hang out with a grandkid. Hang out with somebody. Spend some time. Do something. Get away from the computer screen. Put the damn phone down. And go look at things. Because I can't anymore. When I look at things, it is like looking through a scope or a lens. So don't look at everything through a camera lens or a lens of your phone to try to capture it for social media purposes, for Instagram pics, or to record for a YouTube video. Put that shit away and look at things, experience things, breathe it in, smell it, hear it, and look at it. And then, once you're done soaking it all in, then if you want to grab a picture or do a video, then you can look at it through that lens. But yeah, just don't capture those sunsets and those flowers and whatever else you see. Just don't look at it through that lens. Look at it. Experience it. and hang out with a person for real, not just on Zoom, or not just watching them on YouTube. Go hang out with somebody. Because Facebook will still be there. YouTube will still be here. If you don't make a video for a couple days and then you come back and you make a video, somebody's going to watch it. Don't worry. The world will not turn it off its axis and spin off into the abyss. Life will go on. I guarantee you. Honest to goodness, it will. You don't have to spend your entire life making videos or taking Instagram photos, bathroom mirror photos of your ass and everything else. Go experience some life for a little while. That's what I'll leave you with today. My little tip. What's important to you? If it is social media, well then, good for you. But if it's not, go figure out what is important and spend a little time doing just that. What's important to you? Thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you the next time. And I definitely hope to see you on Thursday. That's right, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here. You guys are awesome. Thank you to my moderators for keeping the peace. I want to thank all my members. I do appreciate you guys. And till next time.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
Pay no attention to the name on my shirt here. That's not me. Because today I am BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
Because I'm BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it from the Riverwalk in San Antonio, Texas.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
I'm BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
This is BlindViews, and that's how I see it.
Okay, this is BlindViews, and that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.
Loud.